Deceptive market moves are about to happen, and they will happen fast, surprising a lot of people. Today, I want to give my honest opinion on where I think XRP is headed and what it could do in the future in my video. Strong evidence from Chad's analysis provide credence to my prediction that XRP might display bullish and bearish characteristics concurrently. Most current events, even though XRP's price has stayed flat at $2.20 for the past 14 days, net outflows have continued. Think about it. XRP's price hasn't dropped despite 14 days of money leaving the cryptocurrency. This suggests that XRP is holding its own even while investors are selling and funds are fleeing. That XRP's price did not crash the last time it saw 14 days of outflows. Instead, it rose dramatically, going from $25.00 to $3.29 in just 18 days, is the important part. After this occurrence occurred during the time period shown on the chart, capital inflow picked back up speed. Is it possible that we might soon face a situation similar to this? Whether or not a comparable scenario will occur is the critical question. As interesting dynamics arise, let's take a look at what's happening with the XRP and BTC pairing. XRP runs the danger of losing a lot of momentum if it doesn't act quickly. For the sake of our analysis, let's zero in on the shorter time periods first. Keep an eye on how closely XRP stays below the important level we've been tracking, which is 2260. As soon as the price falls inside that area, buyers step in to boost it. This is related to the pairing of XRP and Bitcoin. So it may mean one of two things if this combo starts to rise. Capital is either moving from Bitcoin to XRP, or XRP is just outperforming Bitcoin. For example, a rise in this pairing as Bitcoin falls shows that XRP is strong. While Bitcoin is falling more precipitously, XRP is falling less sharply. On the other hand, if Bitcoin soars, this combination might rise even more sharply. It is worth mentioning that XRP is seeing a more noticeable increase. There is a lot of strength evident in the fierce defense of the current level. In addition, I've seen that bullish signals are starting to appear, and the hourly chart is clearly showing a bullish trend. Hidden bullish divergence has now been confirmed on the 4-hour chart. On the 12-hour chart, a signal has just activated, and divergence is a key indicator. After around 8 hours, if the price stays the same, confirmation will happen. This bodes well since all technical indicators point to possible upward movement. I think this might turn into a major event if it grows. Therefore, we need to keep an eye on it. At the moment, Bitcoin is the main focus, but once it is started, it has the potential to become a major movement, especially on a daily basis. A confirmed bearish divergence, a classic indication of a possible top, is shown by examining Bitcoin on the daily chart. I am stating that XRP needs attention since the 12-hour and 4-hour charts consistently show bearish signs. If it wants to go quickly, it needs to start moving quickly or risk falling downhill. By drop, I mean that it has the potential to fall quite a bit. Based on the present liquidity heat map, I would want to share my honest opinion regarding the future of XRP. This is my evaluation. I think XRP will go higher in price. We don't know if this will happen today, tomorrow, next week, or even next month. It seems likely that it will fall again, in my opinion. A possible scenario in which the price falls, then rises, and then falls again is what I'm predicting. The large amount of cash that has been amassed at lower levels is the foundation of my thinking. There was a lot of activity while XRP was trading at lower values, so I warned myself not to be fooled by its recent gains above $2.00. For market makers, price zones are enticing. In my opinion, XRP will reach its historical lows and maybe even lower in due time, especially if Bitcoin keeps falling in value. We have reached a crossroads, and the main question is whether prices will rise before falling, or if they will fall first, then rise, and then fall again. Various possible outcomes are possible. An example of this may be driving up the price of XRP in order to get people excited and then suddenly bringing it down. They might also inflate it, deflate it again, or devalue it first to make people afraid. It is difficult to say which scenario will play out at the moment, but the chart is starting to show positive signals, so that could be a clue. Remember that XRP has a history of it is now holding on hard to keep its position, but the positive signs could be quickly wiped out if it strays even a little. Truthfully, I expect XRP to fall, even if it has a jump in value. Looking at the bigger picture, I still see a number of negative occurrences that need to be watched. Previous encounters have conditioned me to be cautious. When assets like XRP go to double digits or Bitcoin rises to $500,000 or $1 million, true joy becomes apparent. We have seen this kind of thing happen before. For example, in 2020, retail investors were ignored right before major market shifts. During that time, the old saying went something like, "We want you out before it begins," and I still remember it. My guess is that they're going to use the same tactic again. There won't be a U.S. recession. CNBC's Jim Cramer was the deciding moment that cemented my belief. You are aware that the principle states that, on average, the exact opposite happens to what Cramer says. Hence, if he says there is no recession, it follows that there is. It is reasonable to expect XRP to fall in value due to the probability of unfavorable economic conditions. In my opinion, there are three crucial levels where XRP price targets might be reached in the case of a recession: around $1.30, $0.85, and finally $0.60. In my opinion, one of these levels will provide a solid foundation. XRP's minimal price, we need to see the elimination of liquidity at the highest levels before this can happen today. When the real movement happens, market makers will execute it after luring players with a low price. The 85-cent area seems like a likely bottom to me, although a quick drop is possible if luck is on our side. About 60, which will provide a once-in-a-lifetime chance. If XRP drops to that level, it might be a once-in-a-lifetime chance to buy. A major stimulus, such a black swan occurrence, would be required for such a fall to happen naturally. Inflation might fall sharply under this scenario, leading to a possible intervention from the Federal Reserve and a devastating recession. Expect a V-shaped recovery with a quick fall and an equally quick rise. In the case of emergency measures, when we go back in 2020, the year of the market crisis, we can see that prices fell sharply, but then rose again, never again reaching those depths. Because of this shift, the